On the ride home?
Yeah.
I was doing content today, so yeah, but we do have a guest speaker come in, so I think oh, she here. Is she here?
Yeah, she already on there.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
I'm always on time.
So y'all everybody got their stuff, right? Did y'all get the text message? Did you all get the text message?
When?
Okay, I guess
Which one?
the text message that I usually before the class I send it out, but I guess you guys didn't get it. But whatever.
I didn't check because I'm driving.
I'm gonna record it. I'm gonna record it anyway. Because some people, it's 30 people in here, but I don't know why.
Well, I'm home.
Okay, we just gonna start. We just gonna start it.
Okay, perfect.
And we gonna record it. I'm gonna record it. I'm not at home right now, but I'm still gonna record it. So go ahead. I'm recording right now.
Recording in progress.
Perfect.
So go ahead.
Perfect. All right. So first and foremost, I want to give thanks to Naja for giving me the opportunity to speak with you guys today. So Naja, I appreciate that. Thank you. So just a little bit about myself before we get going. So I am a real estate investor. Well, I have multiple businesses now, but real estate is what allowed for me to fire my 9-to-5 job to take on entrepreneurship full time. So I want to be able to teach you guys the same strategies that I learned that was able to not only give me financial freedom, but it just gave me life freedom. Because now I'm not stuck to a 9-to-5 job because of this. Okay. So I want to be able to provide value to you guys and be able to give back. Because when I learned this information, it was literally life changing for me. So I just want to be able to give you guys value and to teach you the strategies that I know. All right. Now I kind of want to do things a little differently. Right. So I'm a very interaction type of person. Like I'm not like PowerPoint, just do the presentation. Like I'm all about fun while you learn. Okay. So I kind of want to do things a little differently. All right. So I know Naja was pretty much telling me that she wanted me to come on and pretty much teach you guys the process of buying real estate. Okay. But I want to teach you guys something different. And the reason why that is because of this. I am not a realtor. Okay. I am a real estate investor. And being a realtor and being an investor is two totally different things. Okay. So if I was a realtor, then yes, I would want to tell you guys the process of how to buy a house. But see, the thing is this, being a realtor is just being a salesperson. And the product that they sell is real estate. Versus being an investor, I am my own boss. Okay. I have 100% ownership of any property that I buy. Okay. Not only do I have ownership of that property, but that property makes me money. Okay. So it was a totally different thing between being a realtor when you sell real estate versus being an investor when you have 100% ownership of the property and you're making money off of that asset. Does that make sense? Come on, talk to me. I need some.
Yes, that makes sense. It makes sense.
All right, perfect. So with all of that being said, I'm going to ask you guys this, right? Because one thing about being an entrepreneur, I am here to help you. I am here to serve you. So it's not necessarily about what I want to talk about. I want to know what is going to interest you guys the most. Okay. So I'm going to give you two things. Do you want me to teach you how to make money off of real estate with the most cost efficient strategy? Or do you want me to teach you how to buy property with no credit, no loan, no bank, no lender, no bank stubs, no W-2s, and how to get 0% interest or very, very low interest rates? Out of that two, which one would you guys prefer?
The second one. Yeah, the second one.
Zero.
Okay, bet. So that's what I kind of figured. And I'm glad you guys chose that. Because the thing is this, we live in hard times right now. Okay. There's people who have been working a job for 20, 30 years. And right now in this economy, they cannot no longer afford or qualify to buy a house. Can we all agree? All right.
Yeah.
So we're living in a world right now where, hey, we got to learn these strategies, because guess what? This is what the rich people is doing. This is what the wealthy people are doing. All right. So this is how you buy real estate. So I want everybody to get a pen and paper out, write this stuff down, because I promise you this stuff can change your life. Seriously. All right. So does anybody know about creative financing? Anybody? Okay. I guess I'll take the silence as a no. All right. Which is great. All right. So pretty much creative financing is a way that you can purchase real estate, whether it be a single family home, a multifamily property, a piece of land, a commercial building, whatever type of real estate you want to purchase. This strategy can work for any of that. Okay. Now there's different forms of creative financing. Okay. Write this down. You have seller, and it's a lot, but I'm just going to give you guys a few. All right. Because I don't want to overwhelm you with information. You have seller financing. Write that down. Seller financing. You have subject to. So it's like a subject in school, and then TO, subject to. So let's stick with those two for just a second. So those two strategies are a form of creative financing. Those two strategies will allow for you to buy real estate with no loan, no lender, no credit check. You can have a 0 credit score and build a multi-million-dollar real estate portfolio. Listen, the banks will never teach you this strategy. The reason why that is because you wouldn't need them if they taught you this. Can we all agree on that?
Yep.
Okay. And I'm going to be real with y'all. One thing about me, I'm very transparent. That whole mortgage, being in a 30-year mortgage because you want to buy real estate, getting a conventional loan, a FHA loan. Do you know that is systematically designed to keep you in debt? You want to know why that is? It's because the banks know they have you on the hook for 30 years. They know that they're going to get that interest off of you for 30 years. That's not fair. That's not fair. It's not fair. It's not right. Okay. So I'm going to teach you guys a way that you can bypass all of that. All right. So this is what you do. You can go on the MLS right now. Okay. And when I say the MLS, that means the multiple listing site. That's where pretty much people list their property on market. So I know you've heard people say, oh, I just put my house on the market. Right? That's what they mean. The MLS, the multiple listing site. So if you go to Redfin right now, Redfin, Zillow, Realtor.com, you're going to see a lot of properties on market. All right. Now, this is what I like to do. I like to filter in properties that's been sitting on market for 90 days or more. Okay. Now, 9 times out of 10, this property is going to already be move-in ready. It's going to already be renovated. It's going to already have all of the major appliances already done. All right. So that's good for you because you don't have to worry about doing the renovations. All right. You want a property that you can buy today that's ready to go. Whether you're going to live in it yourself or whether you're going to put a tenant in that property, make it an investment property and cash flow that property. So that way you're getting passive income each and every month from that tenant. All right. So again, I want you guys to understand this strategy can be used for you and your family to live in these properties, or this strategy can be used for you to buy investment properties that you can cash flow. Does that make sense? I'm an energy person. I need some energy. I need some.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That
It
makes
makes
sense.
sense.
Okay,
You
perfect.
have everything on mute, so it takes a minute to get it off mute.
Yeah.
Nah, y'all good. Y'all good. Okay, so look, let's start with subject to. Okay, so in layman's terms, what subject to is is when a seller has an existing mortgage on their property, and all you're doing is saying, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, I want to buy your property. But instead of paying cash for it, why don't you give me terms? All right. And so when you give me terms, this is what this is going to look like. Whatever purchase price you have for your property, I'll give you that. So just say you find a property on market. Just say it's listed for $250,000. You'll say, okay, look, your property has been sitting on market for almost 100 days. I know you're losing a lot of money right now because you just spent a lot of money to rehab the property. You still got to keep the lights on, so you're paying utilities every month. You still have that mortgage, right? So let's do this. Let me help you. You help me help you. All right. So no, Mr. Seller, I'm not going to offer cash for this property. I don't want to take out a loan for this because I'm an investor. Okay. What I want to do is turn this property into an investment property. So this is what I have for you. This is the proposal that I have for you. Let me take this headache off of your hands since you're not making any money off of this property. And I'm pretty sure you're hundreds of thousands of dollars already in the hole. So why don't you let me purchase this property and I'll take over your existing mortgage that you already have in place. Not only will I take over your existing mortgage that you already have in place, but I'm also going to pay you over time for X amount of years. Now, again, teaching you guys how to structure these deals that's a whole lesson within itself. But I just want you guys to understand the concept. Okay. So you're going to say, hey, I'm going to pay you X amount every month for 5 years. So that way, when these 5 years are over with, I would have paid off your entire mortgage. And when I pay off your entire mortgage, the deed then transfers over to me. Now, there are some situations where you can actually get the deed of the property even before you pay off the mortgage. All right. Again, that's a part of negotiation. That's a part of structuring the deal. But that's the way that I would do it. All right. So what I would do is say, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, I'm going to pay you a percentage of that purchase price at the closing table, right? Because we have to go to closing, right? In order for the deed to transfer in my name. All right. So just say we know that the purchase price is $250,000. Just say I'm going to offer them 10% of that at the closing table. So what's 10% of 250? Say that again.
$25K.
$25,000. So the only thing I need to purchase this property is not $250,000. I need $25,000. Now, you guys know that getting access to $25,000 is easy, right? I mean, Naja is teaching you guys how to do that, right? So Naja is fixing you guys' credit, getting you ready to get funded. And I'm pretty sure Naja is going to get you guys funded well over $25,000. All right. So the only thing that you need to buy this property is $25,000. That's it. Now, 9 times out of 10, this person is going to have a low interest rate because this person probably bought this property years ago when the interest rate was 3%, 4%. So instead of you taking out a new loan and getting hit over the head with today's interest rate, which is 9 to 12%, you can now take over somebody's already existing mortgage, right? With a low interest rate. And the only thing that you need to purchase that property is $25,000. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So you see how that's much easier to buy real estate versus having to qualify to buy real estate?
Yes.
Okay. Now, imagine if you did that with 2 properties, 3 properties, 4, 5, 6 properties. This is how you build your rental portfolio. When I have rentals, I don't get a loan for rentals. It doesn't make sense for me to. when I know that there's people out there where I can just take over their already existing mortgage. Does that make sense? Okay. Now, I want to be clear. I want to be clear about something. Taking over somebody's payments is totally different than assuming the mortgage. You're not assuming the mortgage. The mortgage is not in your name. It's still in that seller's name. But guess who has the deed to the property? Guess who has the ownership of the property? Me. So it's no risk. It's no risk. I don't have to have good credit. I don't have to get hit over the head with high interest rates. I don't have to pay the full amount for the property. All I need is $25,000. And then guess who's going to pay the mortgage balance? My tenant.
Or the tenant.
My tenant. So I literally just bought a piece of asset that's going to cash flow, and I only had to spend $25,000. Does that make sense? Yeah? No?
Yeah. Definitely does.
Perfect. Any questions so far? No questions? Perfect. Let's talk about seller financing. All right. So seller financing is when the seller has no mortgage. All right. So we know that subject to the seller has a mortgage, and all you're doing is taking over their already existing mortgage payments. Cool. With seller financing, it's the opposite. They don't have a mortgage. So guess who plays the bank? The seller. So the seller is going to pretty much play the bank in that situation. Whatever the purchase price is for that property, you're going to negotiate whatever that price is. And then you're going to create the terms. So you're going to say, well, look, Mr. Seller, I want to buy your property for $200,000. I want 0% interest. I want a 10-year balloon. And for those who don't know what balloons are, balloon payments is when you have to pay the full balance at that time. So when I say a 10-year balloon, that means that I have 10 years to pay the full balance off. Or you can say no balloon. That's the great thing about creative financing. You can negotiate whatever you want to negotiate. I can say I don't want interest. If the seller says yes to no interest, I just literally bought a property with no bank, no loan, no interest. It's your deal. You can negotiate however you want to negotiate, because at the end of the day, the worst the seller can tell you is no. And all you do is come back to the table and meet them at a middle point. So they say, well, you know what? I like the price of $200,000. I can accept that, but nah, I need some type of interest on this, especially if I'm giving you 10 years to pay me back. I can say, well, you know what? I think that's fair. Let me meet you in the middle. I'll counter at 2% interest. 2% interest is still better than the interest today. If you go get a conventional loan right now through whatever bank, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, whatever, Chase, you're going to pay at least 6 to 7%. At least. And if you're FHA, that's at least 3 to 4% right there. So me paying 2% on a property where I didn't have to qualify to for a loan, I didn't have to, get a hard inquiry on my credit report. I didn't have to worry about the bank telling me I don't make enough money. I don't have to worry about that. And that's how you buy real estate with no interest or very low interest, little money out of pocket, no loan, no banks, no docs, no tax forms, no W-2s. This is how I build my rental portfolio. Do I have any questions so far?
No.
Okay. Now, again, if you're thinking, well, how do I get access to this? How do I get access to these properties? Like, how do I find these sellers? Right? Again, utilize the free resources. Now, you can pay for marketing, but I would recommend for you guys to utilize free resources. Just go ahead and go to Zillow, go to Redfin, type in whatever city, county, zip code you want to buy real estate in. And I can guarantee you, you're going to have 100 properties that's going to pull up. And then what you're going to do, you're going to filter those properties, and you're going to look for people whose house have been sitting on the market for 90 plus days. You want to know why that is? Why I would recommend for you to get properties that's been sitting for 90 plus days versus properties that
they haven't had any offers at all in 90 days, or accepted any offers. They might have had offers, but they still in negotiation, and it's not for sale.
Yep. And why do you think that property has probably been sitting on the market for too long? Why do you think?
It could be overpriced.
Yeah, they might be asking for too much. Yeah.
Bing, 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 bing. There you go. 9 times out of 10, if a property does not sell in a specific amount of time, it always means 9 times out of 10 that it was listed for way too much. Okay? But you know, the great thing about creative financing is that I can tell that seller, look, I'll give you your listing price. I'll do that. You want to know why I'll do that? Because you're giving me 10 years to pay it. You're giving me 7 years to pay it. You're giving me 5 years to pay it. So yeah, I'll give you full price. I'll give you your listed price, because clearly you can't find anybody that's going to pay cash for it. Clearly there's nobody that's qualifying for this property with a conventional loan, a VHA loan, a VA loan. So I'll give you full asking as long as you give me my terms. Okay? So when a property has been sitting on market for 90 or more days, that seller is a little bit more desperate to sell. So they are more willing to bend a little bit. They are more willing to hear a different way for somebody to purchase their property. You caught them in a very vulnerable position. Because at the end of the day, guys, listen, when you have an asset, you still got to pay on that thing. The lender don't care that you can't find a buyer. They don't care. They want their money. You still got to keep the lights on. You still got to keep utilities on. So every day that this property is sitting on market, that seller is losing money. So if it's been 90 days, 100 days, 180 days, you damn right, they're more willing to negotiate. Okay? So that's why I go after those properties that's been sitting on the market for 90 plus days, because those sellers are a little bit more desperate. All right? Does that make sense? Yeah?
Yes, it does. Perfect sense.
Perfect. Now, the thing is this. You can hire a realtor, but I'm going to be honest with you. It's up to you. If you want to pay that 3% commission, it's up to you. But it doesn't make sense. Well, you know what? I take that back. If the property is on market, you need representation. You do. Because it's on market. If it was off market, then you don't need representation. But if the property is on market, you need an agent. You do. All right. But the thing is, everything is negotiation. That's why I love business, because business is all negotiation and two parties just coming to a common ground. That's it. So guess what? You can negotiate with the agent. Look, since this is already a creative deal and it's not a conventional or traditional way of buying property, instead of me paying you 3%, can I just pay you a flat fee? Everything is up for negotiation, guys. So if you keep that in y'all minds. When it comes to business, everything is up for negotiation. Everything. Because the worst a person can tell you is no. All right. So does that make sense of how you can buy with those two strategies that I just gave you? Subject to which is when you're literally just simply taking over an already existing mortgage. Now, keep in mind, you're not assuming the mortgage. You're just taking over the payments. So you don't have to worry about putting anything in your name. The mortgage is not going to be in your name. The utilities is not going to be in your name. It's going to still be in the seller's name. But you have ownership of the property. Like, man, imagine that. Like, imagine that. Like, you don't have to worry about no risk because it's not in your name. So now I'm going to say this to make a point. I'm not saying this for you guys to do this. I'm just making a point. But just say you default on payments. Well, you ain't got to worry about that mortgage going to your credit report because the mortgage is not in your name. Now, don't default on your payment. Don't do that. But I'm just making a point that is no risk and you still have the deed to the property. Deed equals ownership. Okay. And then we know that seller financing is the opposite of subject to, where the seller does not have an existing mortgage. The property is already paid off. So you're just negotiating terms with the seller, and the seller is going to be the bank in that scenario. Does that make sense? Okay. Now, I'm gonna give you guys this strategy right now. I'm pretty sure. Have you guys ever heard about wholesaling? Wholesaling real estate? You guys heard about that before? Okay. What do you guys know about wholesaling?
Where you can get like a lot of properties for a set amount of money through whoever the owner is. So like I give you $10,000 for those 3 properties that you have under your catalog or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Not quite, but that's a good try. Anybody else want to take a stab at it? I know. I thought I heard somebody else say. Okay.
I was gonna say the same thing. You maybe like a bundle pack of certain houses. You take them as they are, and then you flip them or sell them as they are. So, say if you go to East Cleveland and you buy a cheap house as it is, you may do minimum work to it, but make double or triple the money off of it.
Okay. Okay. So those are all great answers. All great tries, but not quite. Okay. So when it comes to real estate, this is what wholesaling is. When it comes to real estate, when somebody says I wholesale real estate, what they mean is this: they just simply play the middleman between the seller and the buyer. Okay. So this is what that looks like. Angel, I'm a wholesaler, Angel, and I want to buy your property. Well, I want to buy it. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to make you an offer and you agree to my offer, right? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to send you a purchase and sell agreement so I can buy your property, right? Now, when you sign that purchase and sell agreement, well, when we both sign it, you're giving me rights to buy it. You're giving me the right to purchase your property. But what I'm going to do as a wholesaler, I'm going to flip that same paper. You're literally flipping paper. This is the contract. I have the rights to purchase. So hear me when I say this. I have the right to purchase. That doesn't mean I have to purchase. I have the right to do it. Okay. So what I'm going to do is flip that same contract and I'm going to find the actual buyer who's going to buy it. So what I'm going to do. So Angel, I got you under contract to buy your house for $200,000. You with me? What I'm going to do, I'm going to take that same contract for $200,000 and I'm going to assign it. I'm going to assign the same contract over to the person that's going to buy it. However, when I assign that contract over to the buyer, the only difference is the purchase price. So I know that I have Angel under contract for $200,000 to purchase her property. However, when I assign the contract over to the buyer, I'm assigning it at a higher price. I'm assigning it, let's just say for the sake of example, I assign the same contract over to the buyer at $230,000. The buyer agrees to it. He said, yeah, let's 230. I ran my numbers. I did the analytics. 230. Let's do it. Let's get this in escrow. So when that deal closed, how much money did I make off of that one deal?
Would it be 30,000? Oh, okay.
Yes. So I made $30,000. I didn't have to buy real estate. I didn't have to get a loan. I didn't have to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars. I didn't have to rehab a property. I didn't have to do no fix and flips. I didn't have to worry about being a landlord and having tenants that's getting on my nerves. I didn't have to do none of that. And I made $30,000 off of that one transaction just by being a facilitator between the seller and the buyer. That is how I was able to fire my 9-to-5 job. I made multiple six figures doing that. Imagine if you did 3 of those in 1 month. You made $90,000 in 1 month. I mean, shit, 30,000 in 1 month is good. If you did one deal, if you did one wholesale deal in a month, and your average fee was 10 to 25,000, who wouldn't want to make $10 to $25,000 a month just by flipping paper? I don't have to go to the closing table. I don't have to worry about signing any papers. That's how I was able to build a 6-figure business and was able to fire my 9-to-5 job. Because I was like, well, if it's taking me a whole year to make $100,000 before taxes at a job, but I can do that shit with only 3 deals, why am I working corporate? It doesn't make sense. Didn't make sense to me. So that is how I built a real estate business. I did wholesaling for a very long time. And wholesaling allowed for me to generate freedom. It allowed for me to generate thousands and hundreds of thousands of dollars. Okay? And so, guys, you can do the same thing. Now, there is a little bit more to it. You have to know how to market. You have to know how to find these sellers. You got to know how to find these buyers. You got to know how to find them. But I just want you to understand the concept of you simply playing a middle person between the seller and the buyer, and you made thousands of dollars just from doing that off of one deal. You guys can start doing that tomorrow. It's simple. All right. Now, obviously, you need the contracts. You need that. But again, that's where mentorship comes into place. But I just want you to understand that concept, the strategy is simple. And you don't have to be a rocket scientist. You don't have to be the smartest person in a bunch. You don't have to be the most skillful person. Just got to know how to look for these type of sellers who's going to sell their property off market. You can even do this with on-market properties too. All right. So guys, I just gave you strategies, 2 strategies where either A, you can purchase real estate, you can live in it, you can use it as an investment home, whatever you want to do, with no loan, no banks, no credit.
Super dope.
Huh? You like?
They're super dope.
You like that? And then I just taught y'all another strategy where you can make money off of real estate with no loan, no credit check, no banks. All you're doing is flipping paper. And you can make 6 figures off of doing 3 deals. Okay? So I hope that was value to you guys. Now, obviously, there's more context to these strategies. Again, that's where mentorship comes into place, because you have to learn how to analyze properties to even know what offer to make. You got to know how to look at a property and say, oh, well, this is going to be X amount for rehab. You got to have these contracts in place, right? It's more to it. But I just wanted you to understand, like, this is stuff that school will never teach you. Not even real estate school. I went to real estate school because I thought that's what I was supposed to do. But when I went to real estate school, I realized, well, damn, this ain't teaching me how to make no money. This is teaching me how to be a salesperson. So when y'all see realtors and they think they big shots and they know everything, you say, baby girl, baby boy, no shade, but you're a salesperson. You don't have ownership. You don't have cash flow in this property. All you're doing is putting it on the market. That's it. Versus with investing, you have full ownership. You can purchase these properties. You can cash flow these properties. And that's a true asset. So guys, I want you to understand, just having real estate doesn't make, like, I hear a lot of people say, oh, I'm a first time homeowner. I got an asset. I mean, that's cool, right? Being a homeowner is amazing. But I want you guys to understand this. This is the rule of thumb. Anything that does not make you money is not an asset. So when you have real estate, when you buy property, but it's not cash flowing, it's not making you any money, that's actually a liability. What do you say? You got to pay the mortgage. If anything breaks, you got to fix it. You got to worry about the maintenance. Hell, if you got an HOA, you got to pay HOA fees. You got to keep the grass cut. You got to pay the taxes on real estate. So damn, this asset is taking all my money. I didn't know assets take money. So I just say all of that to say, like, if it does not make you money, if it does not cash flow, it's not an asset. And yes, the house will appreciate over time, but you know how much time it takes for real estate to appreciate? And please don't let us get hit with the pandemic. Please don't let us get hit with a messed up economy. That appreciation just went down. Man, there's people out here who wish they would have sold their property 5 years ago because their house was at the peak of value at the time. Back in 2018, 2019, 2020, before the pandemic, man, people's houses appreciated so much. But that same house is now going like this. So again, if I didn't have to spend nothing but $25,000 to buy a property, hell, I can hold it and wait for it to go back up. You know, if this property is cash flowing every month, and I know that I'm getting, you know, $1,500, and rent is very expensive nowadays. So you can put a person in a house and get easy, especially in Atlanta. I don't know where you guys live. I live in Atlanta. The real estate market in Atlanta is very expensive. So people are paying more for rent than what they are paying on a mortgage. All right. So for example, that strategy that I gave y'all where you can buy real estate with subject to or seller financing, I will put a tenant in there and I would just charge them more than what I know my mortgage is, or the mortgage that I'm taking over, or the payment that I have to make every month to the seller. I would just charge them more. So if I know that I have to pay the seller or I have to pay the mortgage, just say it's $800, $900 a month, then I'm going to charge my tenant $1,500, $1,700. So I'm cash flowing damn near $1,000 a month. And I didn't have to, you know, have a loan in my name. I didn't have to pull my credit. I didn't have to do none of that. And I'm cash flowing with one property $800 to $1,000 a month just for having a tenant in there. Okay, so guys, I hope that was valuable to you guys. Again, use these strategies because it works. The banks will never tell you this. The government will never tell you this. But this is what the wealthy people do. All right, so go out and buy property. Go out and get you some assets. Go out and buy real estate because now you know how to do it with the money that Naja is helping y'all to get. All right.
I think you got to motivate them and let them know how important. They don't know. Like, it's gonna be so easy to get money when the credit is good.
You gotta have.
When your credit is good and you structure it correctly, it's easy. You guys think y'all broke right now. It's easy. You don't need no W-2s. You don't need nothing. All you need is that credit score so you can get funded. Okay?
Yeah.
If you depressed right now, guess what? You're going to be not depressed when that money hit your account. Okay? Yeah. $200,000, $300,000 to go get some, like she said, like buy some property or, I'm telling you.
Yeah. So you don't need your credit to purchase real estate, but you do need good credit to get access to capital. So whether you want to get access to capital for real estate, for your beauty shop, or your cosmetic, whatever that is, you need good credit. I'm gonna be so honest with y'all, guys. Just being an adult, you need good credit. And to be honest with you, we can talk about business and buying assets, but look, as an adult, you just need good credit. You should not be okay with being an adult and not having good credit. You shouldn't be okay with that. You shouldn't be. And I'm going to tell you, Naja is a beast. Y'all got one of the best credit repair. Y'all got one of the best credit repairs. I'm telling y'all, she a beast. Like, Naja has done stuff that I know a lot of people go to her for information. I know that. So whatever steps, whatever strategy she's giving y'all, please follow her instructions. Because it's going to work. I promise you it will. It might take a little time. But it's okay. Because guess what? Time going to pass you by anyway. Whether you do it or you don't do it, time's still going to go by. So why not do it now? Please don't look up 5 years. Because I'm telling y'all, man, time is flying. The next thing you know, man, do y'all understand that it's about to be Christmas? Like, it's about to be the end of the year and we just got to 2025?
Mm-hmm.
So look, we don't have time to play around. Like, if y'all serious about this, and which I know y'all are serious, because y'all wouldn't have invested into this program if y'all wasn't serious. So I know that you guys are serious. But stop delaying your success. Stop delaying it. Just do it. Just do it. And I promise you, when you do it, you're going to be like, damn, Naja, you was right. Man, I done seen Naja take off student loans. Man, I'm telling y'all got a good one.
Can you, hello? I can't hear. Hello, you hear me?
Yep, I hear you.
Can you give them your information?
Yes. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to give you guys my telephone number, and I'm also going to give you guys my social media. Okay? So my name is there. Do y'all see my name? Kirsty. So that's my full name. Everybody calls me KK, so you guys can call me KK. My social media, this is going to be for Instagram and TikTok. It's going to be KK, so K.White _. So KK White _. But make sure you put the periods in between the K's. So K White _. That is my Instagram. That's my TikTok. Also follow me on YouTube, where you can learn other strategies to make money, right? Not only real estate, but you can learn how to turn your knowledge into a digital product, where you can learn how to make passive income online. I make 6 figures online in my sleep overnight because of digital products. All right. So if you guys want to learn how to do all of that, all you got to do is watch my YouTube. My YouTube is going to be K.White 2.0. So KK White 2.0. All right. And then, if you guys have any questions about real estate, or if you guys have any questions about how to make passive income online digitally, please make sure you reach out. My telephone number. I'm on Instagram Live right now. Okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to put my telephone number in the chat because I'm on live and I don't want strangers calling my phone. I'm going to put it in the chat. And then when y'all text me, just let me know y'all are from Naja's group. Because what I will do for you guys, I will give y'all discounts on services because you guys are affiliated with Naja. But if you don't let me know, then you will be charged full price.
I have a quick question.
Okay.
Would you recommend like investing into real estate before like buying your own home and getting like, okay.
That's a great question. Look, I'm one of those people where I will always rent. I'm going to keep renting until my assets can pay off the property that I want. I am not going to pay for my property out of my pocket. I want my assets and my cash flow from the business to pay for my dream home. So I'm going to be renting for a very long time because the way that I look at real estate, I look at it as an asset. So I'm always going to think, why am I living here when I could be renting this out? Like, why am I living in this property when I could be having somebody pay me every month? That's just how my brain is. So if you're looking to have real estate as an investment, then if you live in the property, you can't cash flow it.
Okay, because I live in Cleveland. I don't know where everybody else is at. It's a lot of real estate. Like, don't get me wrong. But I also feel I have mixed feelings. Like, I want to own a house. I want to own my own. I don't want to be having to call maintenance and y'all going up every year. But then I also feel like it's so many options and opportunities here. But once again, I don't have the money as of right now or the credit to just make that purchase. So it's like, damn if I do, damn if I don't. But I want to invest, especially like it's so many apartment buildings that's empty and vacant that I would love to invest there. I can see myself making it very big, but right now it's just like where to start at.
Yeah, no, I totally understand. So it's all about what your goal is, right? When you ask somebody like myself what I would do, renting versus owning, I'm going to always tell you, I'm going to, well, I own the property. I have real estate, but that don't mean I live in it. So when you ask somebody like myself, who's an entrepreneur, my mind is always about getting the money. You know what I'm saying? So I'm always going to say, you know, instead of me living in the property, I'm going to always rent it out. Because why would I not want my asset to cash flow? You get what I'm saying? And then once I accumulate a portfolio of multi-millions of dollars in assets, then guess what's going to pay for my house? That when I finally do buy a house for me to live in, guess who's paying for it? My assets. Okay. But if your goal is to just simply buy a home for you and your family to live in because you're tired of renting, then you need to utilize the strategy that I just gave you, because you don't have to worry about your credit score. You don't have to worry about having a lump sum of money. You don't have to worry about all of that if you apply the strategy that I gave you to buy real estate. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes sense. Thank you.
Okay. And I did put my name and I put my number in the chat. Do you guys see that?
Yeah.
Perfect. Do I have any other questions that I can answer?
Do you help with like out of state? Since you're in Atlanta, like would you help like if we live in Cleveland? I live in Cleveland, Ohio. Mm-hmm. Do you help like the process and starting like that, or we have to be in Atlanta to get the services?
Oh no. Most of my clients are out of state. And Ohio real estate is very cheap. And when I say cheap, I mean it's very low. It's compared to Atlanta. Like, there's properties in Ohio, you can still buy property for like $20,000, $30,000 out there. You know, you can buy duplexes for $50,000 in Ohio. I've done a lot of deals in Ohio. So wholesaling, what I just told you guys, I did a lot of wholesale deals in Ohio.
What about quick sale? Like, if I'm saying it right, like when people quick sell houses, just sign it over. Like, is that a popular thing or like the logical thing to do?
So when you say quick sale, do you mean like auctions?
I believe so. I know somebody who kind of did like a quick sale, just sold their house and got a check, and that person just took fully over.
Yeah.
So, but then I've heard of auction too. I've been to the auction in Cleveland, Ohio, but I've just heard people just buying houses and don't know what they're getting into, and they're not making money off their profit because there's so much work to do.
Yeah.
When you go to the auction, you just possibly can get blindsided.
So I'm glad you said the word blindside, right? Because I think the word you're referring to is a quit claim deed. Right? So a quit claim deed is risky. And the reason why and so typically when you buy properties at the auction and stuff like that, or like these tax deeds, these tax sales, when you sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes when you buy those properties, you're not getting a warranty deed. You're getting a quit claim deed. And the thing about a quit claim deed is that you don't know if it has liens on it. Do y'all know what liens are? Yeah, so liens is pretty much anything that's clouding the title of the property, right? It's a violation. Look at it as a violation. And until you take care of that violation, that seller is not supposed to be able to sell their property. All right. But when you do things with a quit claim deed, you're pretty much letting the buyer know, hey, if this property does have anything associated with it that's negative, you're giving me the rights to give this over to you. But the thing is that you don't know if that property has any liens or any clouds on the title until it's already yours. All right. So that's one thing about a quit claim deed. It is risky because you don't know what you're getting yourself into. But is it a very, very cheap way to get a property? Most definitely. So if you're able to take the risk, for example, just say you go to the auction and you got this person's property because they fell in foreclosure. Just say the balance was only $50,000. So just say you offered $60,000 or whatever, $50,000. Well, this property, once you fix it up, could be worth $300,000. You get what I'm saying? So is it worth the risk? It depends. It depends on how you look at it. I know some people will love that. Even if it is liens on the property, they like, well, hell, it only cost me $50,000. I'll pay off the liens. I'll do what I need to do to fix it up because I know that when I sell this shit, I'm going to make $100,000 off of it. I'm going to make $150,000 off of this. So again, it depends on how you look at it. It's all perspective. And it also depends on your risk tolerance. Any other questions?
Yeah, I got a question. Okay, so what if you had a situation like this? I inherited a house from my grandfather.
Okay.
But I got my own house already. And it's like I got the house, but I don't know what to do. Like I don't want to sell it, but it gotta get work done. Like I got my siblings staying there or whatever, but eventually I got to do something with it. So, what do you think is the best thing to do?
Are you the sole owner, or do you have siblings as well where they own?
No, it's solely me.
Okay. Let me ask you this.
Mm-hmm.
Ideally, do you want to keep the property as a generational thing, right? Like passing down generational wealth? Is that something that's important to you, or you looking for a way out?
I actually want to keep the house because of my grandfather. Like he worked so hard for it. So I really don't want to get rid of it, but I feel like I can make money off of it too if I just rent it out or something. So my biggest thing is getting money to fix up the house to get it up to part where I can rent it out.
Yeah. So if your goal is to keep the property in the family, but it does need work before you can actually have somebody live in it, you're going to have to put money into it. You're going to have to rehab it. right? And that's where Naja comes into place, where she's going to be able to get your credit profile where it needs to be so you can qualify for this, right? Because you're going to need a loan. If you don't already have that money sitting somewhere, you're going to have to get a loan to do the rehab.
Okay.
All right, so that's what I would recommend for you to do. If your goal is to keep it in the family, you are going to have to rehab it because you have to make it livable, right?
Okay.
And so, yeah, once you fix it up, you put a tenant in there, and let that bad boy cash flow. And then one thing that's great, I'm pretty sure you don't have a mortgage on it because I'm pretty sure it's been in the family.
Nope.
So imagine that cash flow is going straight in your pocket, 100%.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I've been thinking about that, lady. So yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's a great thing when especially for our community. That's not really, we don't have that a lot. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that your family member passed down something to you, if I were you, I would really treasure that. Because they worked hard to even purchase that property. Right? And then especially back then, those were different times back then.
Yeah, that's how I feel. That's exactly how I feel. That's why I want to just fix it up and rent it out.
Yeah. Get it. Yeah. Okay. If I were you, I'll fix it up and just rent it out. Rent it. And you can do long-term rentals. You can do short-term rentals. So you don't have to always just have a tenant that has a 12-month lease. You can do room to room, depending on.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Room to room.
So that way you can maximize your cash flow.
Okay. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Hey, keep me posted. I want to know how that works for you. Once you get started, get the ball rolling, keep me updated on your journey.
Okay, thank you. I will.
Do I have any other questions before I turn it back over to Naja? I'm actually type my IG and my TikTok just in case.
I'm just going to say you are an amazing speaker, and it was very knowledgeable, and I really appreciated the gems and everything you gave out today.
Oh, thank you. Hold on. I'm having, I don't know what happened, but I can't see y'all no more. Hold on.
We see you.
Okay, I see you now. I don't know what I just did. I'm sorry. Who said that?
Dana.
I really appreciate that. Thank you sincerely from the bottom of my heart. I actually prayed before I came on today because I prayed that God speaks through me. So that way I can communicate effectively to where you guys can understand the information. And my biggest thing is just being a servant. I'm big on Christ. So I know our job is to love and serve God and to love and serve other people. So I did pray that I can, God work through me to give valuable information that they can actually use and find valuable. So to hear that, it really means more to me than what you know. So thank you for that.
You presented very well to people who don't know what they are.
Thank you. I appreciate that. That really means a lot. Thank you. And I'm, like I say, guys, I'm just typing my Instagram just in case, my social media. So I put my IG, my TikTok, my YouTube. So yeah, I look forward to connecting with you guys further. Again, if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. And yeah, it's been a pleasure. Thank you guys for your time.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I really appreciate it. I know for the one that didn't come, they missed out on a good class. I'm telling you. Hey, I love it. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Naja. I appreciate it. And I'll see you.
You're welcome.
I'll see you, Naja, on our next our call next week.
Yeah. 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 So we actually is. Oh, did you give them the background or no?
Background with what?
Oh, well, how Me and you know each
Oh, no,
other.
no. I didn't get the background on how we met.
Oh, okay. But we in the same.
We're in the same mentorship
Yeah,
program, so let's just say that. And that's actually I'm gonna say one last thing. So do you see how even though Naja is successful, even though I am successful, we are still investing in mentorship?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah.
So I say all of that to say it doesn't matter what level you're on, whether you're beginning, in the middle, advanced, it does not matter. We all have mentors. Because at the end of the day, the moment you stop learning, you stop growing. I don't care how rich you are. I don't care. Doesn't matter. All right. So, guys, congratulations on taking that step into your education, into your knowledge, because you will never learn this stuff in school. School does not teach you how to make money. Okay. So, yeah, I just wanted to make that point. And we pay a lot of money. And you know what's crazy? We going to the next level. We gonna pay some more money for the next
Yep.
level.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. Because we always investing.
Mm-hmm.
We always investing in our growth. Always. So even even with this, we gonna go to the next tier, and we're gonna give that money very happily, and it's gonna be thousands of dollars. Like y'all don't even.
Yes, it is.
I don't even want to tell y'all the amount.
Please don't tell them. Please don't tell them. Please. I don't think they ready for that because I don't think I'm not saying that y'all not ready, but I'm just saying like for people, a lot of people be thinking the $1,500 is a lot. Mentorship 2,000 because this is my prices that I charge. Like even some people be thinking $99 is a month is a lot, but you don't understand that this stuff that I have, all the material that I have in this group, I'm giving it to you guys for $99. Like, and listen, we pay thousands for mentorship, like tens, thousands. Like it's not yeah. And like she said, we will pay it again because we know we're going to get our money back, and then we use the information that our mentors give us. And hey, if you use the information, you're going to make your money.
10 times.
You're going to make money. Okay, 10 times more.
10 times more. And then another thing too, y'all, it's a mindset thing. Y'all have to literally transform yourselves. If you want to achieve something you've never achieved, you have to be willing to do things you've never done. All right. And so another thing about this mentorship stuff is that it's also about access, guys. Getting in rooms with people who you aspire to be in the same position as one day. You got to get in those rooms, and that stuff listen, to have access to have a network of people who are multimillionaires. Do you think that's just going to be handed to you? So it's also getting access. And then once you have that access, now you're learning information that these multimillionaires are doing to make them multimillionaires. You're learning these strategies. You're learning how to do X, Y, and Z. You're learning how to fix your credit and how to get these things removed off of your credit report. You're learning how to get access to $250,000. That's quarter of $250,000. But if you would have never invested in that mentor, you wouldn't have had access to the person that can teach you these things. So guys, I can talk on and on and on about that. If y'all are in Atlanta, anybody in Atlanta, I do have an event this Sunday. Reach out to me if you guys are in Atlanta. I'll send you guys the details, but I do have a speaking engagement where we're going to pretty much educate you guys about financial literacy and how to build wealth through life insurance, how to leverage your credit profile to get access to high limit funds, and then be able to invest that money into cash flowing assets. So if you guys are in Atlanta, reach out to me. I'll give you the details. All right. Well, it's been real. Naja, thank you so much for the opportunity.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you guys for your time. And I look forward to speaking with you guys soon.
All right.
All right.
See you.
All right. Take care.
Bye.